Top of the morning, afternoon, and or evening, ladies and gentlemen, the worldwide one and only DJ Chi-Town live on the mic right now. We're going to talk a little bit about the Outsiders, a band that has been around the block more than once, no doubt about it. They came out back in 1965, slamming into all that kind of music with all of their crazy and wild antics. Now, this was back in Cleveland, Ohio, where they kicked it off. They were basically a rhythm and blues band, and back then they were called the Tom King and the Starfires. They pooled their meager resources and their pennies, and they pocketed it all together, and they tried to figure it out. And they recorded an original song back in the day, and that was by Tom King and his brother-in-law Chet Kelly. Now, Time Won't Let Me was the name of the title, and everybody pretty much has heard this music somewhere, some way. By my own accord, the Outsiders themselves have said that this is that ghost song that epically hangs over their head because that is what they are known for, and people don't really hear the rest of the stuff that they do because they are stuck on that song. Anyway, Time Won't Let Me, it was submitted to the record company. They went and popped it out, and immediately that song was a top 40 AM radio hit as soon as it hit the radio. With that record company behind them, Tom King and the Starfires were renamed at that point in time the Outsiders. They were no longer known by anything else but the Outsiders. And the song Time Won't Let Me began to receive the AM radio station airplay across the entire United States. Gathering that airplay and live performances, momentums, the Outsiders, fronted by a lead singer, and that was Sonny, who was the lead singer, and Sonny Garaci. They began, making the reputation in the pop music history at that time with Time Won't Let Me when it climbed to number 5 on the Billboard and record industry national charts. The group's popularity led to television appearances on the entertainment show. Even Dick Clark had them on there, where the action is, halala boola. Um, the local teen show across the United States. Outsiders released also received radio airplay success on national charts. Their second single, Girl in Love, that reached number 11, respectively reached number 15, and Help Me Girl reached number 21. Members changed over time in the original Outsiders lineup, and like so many groups of the era, the band slowly faded into the regular top 40 music history. However, now the Outsiders here they come. They're fronted by original drummer Ricky. The Outsiders are on the roll again, man. They have done it once again. Um, I don't know if I really want to tell you now. Now I kind of want to sit back and make you worry about it and wait and see what happens. Damn it. Okay, we'll go ahead and do it anyway. The Outsiders have recorded 2 new singles, I've Got a Heart Too, and You and Me. With the help from the internet airplay, they have taken this song and the singles and they have put them completely all over the place. They are charting on local and national and even global charts right now, even on n1mcom.com. N1M holds the local charts and all of the music in different areas. And the Outsiders actually back up and reproducing their classic radio hits, the new Outsiders material, and popular top 40 AM radio songs from the 60s. I have it to my understanding and knowledge that there may be some deals coming up and there may be some packages coming up where these guys might be doing some tours. So stand by, relax, enjoy the ride, and let's see what happens. Here's an interview from the Outsiders. Okay, I do apologize for that little inconvenience. I dropped out. We are back right now, and right now we are live with Cedric and with no man that needs no introduction from my side. But I'll let him introduce himself to you, Cedric. Cedric is a man of many different things, and he is
Really?
he's a partner to Street Family, Jimmy. He
Love it, man.
actually he runs a studio out here in Peoria, Illinois.
Really?
And what I want to do is I want to, since I'm kind of working with him and managing with him and trying to help promote and get things going,
Yeah.
Jimmy, I could think of nobody better than you guys to try and bring you guys out at some point and book you guys into some venues and stuff. Seth also does a lot of promoting and stuff as long
Oh, we'd love to.
everything else.
We'd love to. How are you, man? Merry Christmas
I'm
to you.
doing great. Same to you. Same to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Jimmy, I've told him absolutely nothing. He knows not who you are, where you're from, or what you play or what you do. All he knows is that you're somebody who's got a little bit of a reputation there,
Oh
and we
yeah,
won't talk about the bad side.
yeah. Well, thanks for doing that, Johnny. I appreciate it. Actually, my name is Jimmy Aschenbener. I live in Brooklyn, Ohio. I'm in a band called the Outsiders.
Wow.
Yeah, our don't mind me, the silly cat. Gotta love him. Yeah,
No.
I'm in the Outsiders. Last single or two are my own doing. With the guys helping
Congrats.
out on the arranging and stuff. Yeah, so it's going pretty good. So far,
Now,
so good.
Jimmy,
Waiting for COVID. Yeah,
I've not shown Cedric your last single right now, and I don't know if he actually recognizes you by the Outsiders. I'm not sure. He may or he may not. But you've got that demon over your head with that one song from the Outsiders from way back in the day when you guys got kicked off. Um, what song was that?
Kicked off. Was that an
Time won't
airplane that
let
got
me.
kicked off?
Yeah,
Time
Time
won't
won't
let
let me was
me.
the big single. Yeah.
I remember that. I
Yeah.
So
remember that.
that's
Most definitely.
that's the one that you had said at one time that's hung over your head. And you guys, that haunts you guys all the time, right?
Well, it was such a great song, and Tom King and Sonny Geraci way back in the day had set the bar so high, Johnny, that it was like, wow. Well, okay. Well, what do we do for now? And when I started writing for the Outsiders, you know, what were the elements? And the one thing that always came to mind is it was always from the heart. And I
Mm.
figured, well, that's the best place to start with anything you're going to do. So that's kind of how it's progressed so far, so good. So,
No, Jimmy, what we have plans on doing, we've got a lot of things in the works right now. I mean, the not for profit that I started a while ago, I know you've seen a little bit of that, what I've been going through with that.
yes, sir. Yeah,
Um, we now are legally a 501c3 tax exempt. We've got everything, all our ducks are now in order. Um,
fantastic.
the only thing we've got to do is get the funding going now, and after that starts, then we'll have the full fledged business going. Um,
Excellent.
Employee database, everything else is coming into play. We've got everything
Yeah,
lined up. But what we're doing with Cedric here is we're going to start doing, I've got that radio voice and the gift of gab. So what we're going to do,
absolutely.
we're going to start doing interviews with people like you. We're going to start blowing this up into a really big ordeal. He's also booking concerts right now with artists and performers.
Fabulous.
We have a bunch of names. I'm not going to put them all out there. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, but we've got a bunch of people that we're starting to put together for different venues. We've already been to the clubs. We've booked different clubs and events. They are lined up. These things are going to happen, Jimmy. Um, so while we're in this process, I could think nothing more than putting you guys together and letting you guys get to know each other because I'd really love, and mind you, said, pay attention to what I'm saying. I would really love to have these guys make their way out this way to play out here, and
Absolutely.
I think they would be a major benefit to what we're doing. Jimmy, I need to
Thank you,
do
John.
some interviews coming up as well, so I'm going to reach out to you so we can kind of do this with said, kind of like what we're doing right now,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
same style. Um,
Absolutely. I'd be honored.
just to sit around and shoot the box around, kick the can, whatever you want to call it. Just have a good time. Um,
Absolutely.
but I'm going to shut up because I talk too much sometimes, and I want to let you guys talk a little bit. Said, can you introduce yourself a little more on your side of business and what you got going on? And you and Jimmy can talk a little bit. I'm going to mute out, and I'll be right back. Go ahead, guys.
Sounds cool, Johnny. Thank you. Yeah, Ed, can you tell me about yourself, sir? You know the trouble I get in. That's a
Well,
curveball.
hi, Jimmy. I'm Sid Dockery, new owner of Widecast Studio and Peoria Life and Associated Brands. Um, I'm back in the broadcast situation after a 30-year hiatus.
Congratulations. Beautiful.
Thank you. I had some teenage and 20s and 30s to get through before I could get back into space.
Gotcha.
Uh,
That's cool. Oh, yeah, we
it,
get that.
it takes a certain level of maturity to take on this much responsibility. Um, well, I joined up with this lady, Maria Best, a few years ago. I'm a business consultant, a small business consultant.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to be linking together for me to help her write this business plan that she just could not write.
Yeah.
And throughout, I do a very long questionnaire with, the people that I'm talking with, because I'm not coming to run your business. I'm coming to figure out what the issues
Yeah.
are. Right.
Yeah. Makes total sense.
And so, come to find out, she really didn't need business help. She needed in the house help. Right.
Oh wow.
She was trying to manage a food pantry, a healthcare job,
Oh wow.
a lot of volunteer time with other organizations, and foster mother.
He just cut out a little bit, buddy.
Sorry about that. Do not disturb did not apply it. So let's try
Oh, I get that. Believe me.
it. Yeah, and she had, let's see, Jay and his brother and Charles and Manuel,
Oh
Tori,
wow.
and my
As a
two, and
foster parent.
yeah, there were 9 children
Holy
in that house,
God bless her.
and plus her mom, has Alzheimer's,
Oh,
and
jeez.
I almost say kind of, but she really did bring me out of my homemaking retirement. I haven't been in that space in quite a few years as well.
Good for you.
And so the best thing to help her and actually help myself was to come in and take off a major amount of that load so that she could focus and see what it is she needed to drop off of her list,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to have focus in the business climate that was coming. 2021 came,
Oh yeah.
2020 came. Well, 2018, fall, winter of 2018 is when the conversations were going on.
Yeah.
Christmas, Christmas 2018 is when the nail really got nailed in that she really needed the help.
Yeah.
And I got to see how she treated her friends. And she treated her friends pretty much the way you would expect Santa Claus to treat his best
Yeah.
friend, right? I mean, the biggest heart in the world, and I felt like there's a need for this woman to be able to be as prosperous as she wanted to be. So let me see if
Yeah.
I can help her. So I put a lot of stuff that I was doing on the back burner and went and helped. And what was supposed to be just 3 or 4 months turned into a year and a half of me being a daddy nanny.
That's a
you know,
proud job, though, man. Cool.
oh yeah, it was pretty easy for me. I mean, those kids reminded me of my brothers and sisters, and that was a job I had to do with them. And
Fantastic.
helping my mom with her homemaking work.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she was a professional. My big sister were professional, so they taught me all of the homemaking stuff that I put to use for other people. And so a lot of Seds Box, that was the name of my company. Seds Box got put on the back burner,
Yeah.
right? And Said Invest came to view in 2019, the end of 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
And through Said Invest, we were supposed to be taking some of the people who said they just could not get into the economy as business owners or as management
Yeah.
individuals in the business community. We figured, why not give them an opportunity? And what we found was a lot of people were not gambling on the people we gambled on for a specific reason, right? Commitment,
Yeah.
right? You can have the skills, you can have the want, you can even have the need to be where you say you want to be. But if you're not committed, to being in that space,
Yeah. Absolutely. You got to be
yeah.
able to
So
walk it and talk it. So I get that, man.
exactly,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
exactly. So we ended up about 20,000 in the hole for 2019 and 2020.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But we still ended up with the house. I mean, we bought the house, as like
Yeah.
an incubator and whatnot. So
Gotcha.
we throw parties and whatnot in that house. We've hosted runaways. We've hosted a few battered and running away wives, and
Yeah.
things like that. I've actually even held steering committee meetings at that
Wow.
house. And last night we just went and hung out.
Good for
you
you.
know, yeah, I had friends over. We talked a little business and just mostly passed drinks out.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Downtime's good.
Oh, most definitely. It was really needed too. And so buying Widecast this year, um, it was, plugging a hole in what my business, coming out of the webs, coming out of the spider webs, my business really needed, an opportunity to add exposure for some of the businesses that I'm targeting.
Yeah.
You know, um, and minus a few technical issues, I think we've been doing great. We've added Wagner here. Um,
Beautiful, man.
yeah, we've
Beautiful.
added Wagner. He's got the voice. He's got some talent with those fingers there.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and
Yes,
so
he
we
does.
we thought, why not? He came
Good.
to us in a helping situation, right?
Nice.
He came recommended by my longest running best friend, Ginger,
Beautiful.
who actually came over last night and kept me from going to sleep.
Love
Yeah,
it.
we didn't kick her out till 1 something this morning.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna
Um,
say
Okay.
I'm
Well,
sorry for whatever Ginger did to you.
oh, she's great. She's great. I love her to death. But yeah, Widecast. It's about creating the networks that will allow more people into the creative space and giving them outlets, right? There are so many creatives in this town, and there's really not enough outlets, to make sure that Peoria really does decide whether or not it plays,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
so this is the new Widecast in Peoria Life is about giving people the opportunity to find out if Peoria is really going to support them. You know,
Yeah.
Cam-
Wow.
cameras and high speed internet
Beautiful.
and Wagner.
Yeah. And Wagner, too.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta have me. I'm the argumentative person that comes in with this off the wall idea, and then you're like, "Yeah, no, that ain't gonna work." And I'm like, "No, but it is." And you're like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "Yeah, it is. We'll make it work. I got it." And by
Well,
the
the
time I've
cool
done,
thing is, if you don't mind me,
go.
there aren't any rules anymore, man. I mean,
There are.
20 or 25 years ago, when you were promoting a record, you were
Mhm.
mailing singles out and you were kissing people's rear ends and you were doing this and we were
Mhm.
doing that. And, which, we've all been a part of that game.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
exactly what it was a game.
Yeah.
And, it's okay because that was the time. Now, we were so apprehensive about putting out any new material
Right.
because of,
Right.
well, of that ghost, K Time won't let me, that haunted me all my life. And, so we said, well, with God's blessing, let's see what we can do here.
Mhm.
And the first single, okay, You and Me, did very well. And I had something in my back pocket that I dragged in. Okay, we were actually getting ready for some shows. And I figured, you know what, let's play this. And there
Mhm.
was silence in the room when I was done playing. It was just me and an acoustic guitar, banging out to these guys.
Right.
And they all simultaneously said, let's record this. Like, all at once. I was like, was
Really.
that rehearsed? Yeah. So that's what we did. And, once again, we went in, we did the backing track. This last record was done, I'm not exaggerating, 3.5 hours,
Now,
start to finish, including mixing.
Jimmy, I,
Wow.
I literally watched this. Now, Cedric,
Wow.
I'm not like the stalker fan or anything. I mean, I like
Yeah.
Jimmy, he's a great guy, and I'll hang out with him anytime. I think me and him would be great friends all the way around.
Heck yeah,
Oh.
man.
But check this out. They got that recording out there, and I think you guys were like what number 16 or 17, somewhere way up there
Yeah.
in the chart frames. And I watched them literally. This would just keep repeating, and people would vote on the song. And he's now sitting, and right now, currently to this moment, he's sitting at number one
Yeah.
on his charts.
Yeah.
I sent you a
Nice.
link to that, Cedric. If you want to take a look at it,
Yeah.
it's in your
We
box.
are completely and totally blown away. And
Where
actually,
did you send it?
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
I'm
that's
sorry.
over in your Facebook. Go ahead, Jimmy.
yeah, and the video is also on there too. And on the back end, I'm able to see the numbers, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
there's no way in hell that people are spending 4 minutes and some odd, watching my fat head. and all the other better looking guys in the band do this, and
Right.
it's been a blessing. It's amazing.
And
Um,
it's been on the charts for 32 weeks, it says
yes,
right
it
now. I'm
has.
looking at it right now, and
Yeah,
it says that, it's in the peak position. It's been on the charts for 32 weeks, and you're still number one at a 4 minutes and 41-second song.
yeah. It's
Wow.
pretty wild.
Wow.
It's just we're how do I
Blown
say
away.
this? It's just it's cool. It's cool, and we don't take it for granted. Of course, we do not, because it could
Right.
all end, heaven forbid, tomorrow. But yeah, it's doing. I guess people like it. This is Vegas, by the way. He's not supposed to be up here, but he is, because you know why?
Why
I
is
don't know.
that?
Vegas, what are you doing? I want
Vegas
to say
knows
hi.
Vegas can get away with it right now because Danny's
Yes, he
busy.
can.
There you
That's
go.
a good point.
But
He's a
yeah,
rescue kitty. But the
it's impressive how fast you guys took that, and you guys actually just turned it all right around and came right out of there, man. People just soaked it up. I wonder how big this will actually get as it grows. Still,
that's you know that's what Ricky and I were talking last night, and it's strange because like I found out that we're being played in England on BBC One or Two, I guess,
yep.
and there's a station in a pirate radio station picked it up, and there's
Mm-hmm.
also some stations in the States that have picked it up.
And internet radio is playing it too, from what I hear.
Yeah, and it's
Really?
like, wow, okay. Now, um,
Okay.
I know, and my friend Roy August, who's worked with like the Oak Ridge Boys and stuff, he said, you hit 100,000 plays, and your phone's going to start ringing
Yeah.
because someone's going to want a piece of that.
Of course.
And
Of
we're at 66,000 right now, and if you do the math, by the end of January, we should be over 100,000 plays.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the streaming is making us loaded at 0.0000015. So we're all very, you know what? It's just cool. It also enables us to be able to play out live. People are excited
Right.
about the new stuff, and that's that's the coolest part of it to me. Is I hope we're doing Tom King and Sonny Geraci proud. I mean, we're doing it as a testament to what they started,
Uh-huh.
and we seem to be doing and continuing, which is kind of cool. But
Oh,
as
that's
far as playing
That's
out by
wonderful.
you guys, man, we'd love to. We'd love to. We've got, the end of October. Stuff is finally starting to file in. Like we're a part of the
Yeah.
Flower Power Cruise the end of March, Johnny, as you know. And then there's some dates actually in Pennsylvania for next October already booked. So stuff's starting to happen. COVID,
Cool.
it came at the worst time in the world, but hey, there are people who are no longer with us because of it. So you know what? It's okay.
Right.
It's you know,
Right.
everything with due time. So, but we would be very excited to come out to Peoria.
I mean, I'd like to
Sounds good.
get something going at some point. So yeah, I mean, we
Yeah,
just got to sit down and crunch numbers and figure out what's feasible, what works
yeah,
all the way around the board. With me, a lot of it is not for profit stuff, so we try to get the charitable contributions to the best of our ability. Um, but with Cedric running the studio at the same time, maybe we can do a split 50-50 type thing, or do something to where we can all benefit and make it right.
you know,
I don't
I
want to leave
think
anybody out.
you know what I agree with you. A contract is a meeting of the minds, and as long as it's
Yes.
win-win-win for everybody involved,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, everybody has to pay bills. That's
Yeah.
important. But
Amen.
however, there comes a time where we're not going to let anything hold us up. We've been situations where you can, if a promoter calls, like we have a guy in Florida, and if someone calls Wayne and says, "Well, this is all I can do," you know what? Everybody comes to the table and everybody talks about it. How feasible is it? How could we help you, help us, help everyone? Period. And
Well,
that's all philosophy since day one of the Outsiders. You know,
That's
My idea, Jimmy, just so you know, and this is why Cedric likes me being around because I come up with these ridiculous ideas that seem to work.
no, not
Um,
ridiculous, Johnny. They're
but
fantastic.
my idea is if we're going to get you to waste your time driving, not flying, but if we're going to get you to drive all the way out here, come all the way out here,
Yeah,
what I'd like to do is say, okay, whatever benefit that Cedric puts together,
yeah,
we'll split that up between the three of us somehow and make it right.
yeah.
But here's the thing, Jimmy, we're going to get you guys set up in a hotel for the night. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to double book you then because we're going to go get one of the local bars here in town or something. And we'll
Perfect.
set it up so you have a venue. That way you do the concert. I'm just going to say concert, but you're
Yeah.
going to do the concert for us on Friday night. And then Saturday night, we're going to have you booked over at a local bar where it'll be a lot lower of a crowd, not so psychotic. And we'll have you guys come out and play there, but it'll be a little better. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But you'll make your money between the two gigs and kind of double book it. So that way you're not just coming out here just to stand around for a day and run back.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the idea. Anytime we've been in Florida, it's been a couple shows. The same idea. We also we had some shows that were supposed to be played in November, but because of COVID, they were actually postponed until March 19th. And it was us at Headliners as the headline, and you had the Ohio Express. Remember, Yummy, Yummy, Yummy,
yeah.
wonderful guy, and also the Music Explosion, a little bit of soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on a second.
There's actually a Facebook ad for Music Explosion right now.
Yeah. The
I remember seeing it a couple days ago. There's a
yeah,
Music Explosion.
yeah, wonderful guys. I mean, Bert Stahl, the bass player, the original bass player, and Dane and these guys. Some of the cool stories, and meeting the Temptations, and
Right.
meeting Aretha. I mean, these are like heroes.
Right.
And it's like, you did what? You had breakfast with who? Otis who? You gotta be kidding me. Or playing in Germany somewhere, and it's fun stuff. That's I think that Johnny knows. I'm a student of the music anyway, son. You know what I mean? I've always been, and I mean that entire era, and having a chance to actually, like as I had made mention, the end of March, we play with the Zombies, and it's like hello, it's like I can't remember who else is on the bill because they've added people. Felix from the Rascals is on the thing. John Lodge of the Moody Blues, the bass player, is also. These are people that it's like, and the neat thing is that 95% of the people that I've been blessed to meet have been so gracious and so cool. And there's and then there's the other 5%, but we won't talk about it. But it's just it's cool. So the Outsiders are going strong, and we're praying the best for 2022.
Yeah.
And as I said, hey, opportunity, guys. That's all it takes is a phone call or an email.
Well, I told you, Jimmy, a long time ago when we were first talking, I said I've got big plans. Now, I'm not going to talk about any names or anything, but I really worked hard to try and help other people get their stuff going and get people going in the right direction. And if they go that way, great, and I'm all in. And just like Cedric here, I'll work with him. And as long as if he takes some of my advice and we actually build that bridge, which he's done great at doing, he's not throwing me to the curb every time. He shot me down a couple times. Don't get me wrong. We have a great relationship. But I'm going to put it all in. And I told you before, Jimmy, no matter what, if I'm going to do this and I'm going to build this up, at some point, you're going to hear me call it one way or another.
Well, I'll tell you right now, brother, sign us. Do it. Oh. Hey, Sid, you should start a small label. As long as you have the distribution, brother.
Oh, well, see, I'm not supposed to be the label. That's for my partner in LA.
Well, then
I'm working on avoiding the mission creep. The business plan is expansive.
Yeah.
right? Widecast is just, it's supposed to be the nucleus.
They're all tied together in the long run.
Nice. Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
so the way I'm building this, it's going through people who already know what they're doing in the space. So it's just about, making sure we all fit in the same envelope. You know what I
Makes
mean?
total sense, buddy. Makes
Yeah.
total sense. But you got a
So,
good guy in Johnny, man. You
oh
got one
yeah,
hell of a guy in
oh
your
yeah,
corner.
oh yeah.
Period.
Um,
That's it, man.
Jimmy, I'm not the guy to bug you because I'm not the starstruck guy, as I said many times before. I mean, I've been next to some of the greats, but that's beside the point. We're not going to run them into the mud. The best
Got
I was working when I was like 19. I was working security or 20 or something like that. I
Yeah.
was working for Kmart back in the day, and this big black guy comes in, and he's walking around and he's going shopping. And well, they tell me when he comes in, they said, John, they said you need to follow this guy. And I'm like, why do I need to follow him? Because he's a big black guy? What the hell are you guys talking about? They said, no, John, you need to follow this guy and make sure that he's safe. Make sure he's okay and he's got everything that he needs. So this guy is a big name. Well, I didn't catch right away who he was. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just kind of shadow the guy and kind of walk around with him. And well, we get to talking, and he's got a recording studio in his house. He owns 5 houses or 3 houses or whatever the hell it was back then. I don't remember exactly in detail.
Yeah.
But this man is one of the greats. And you guys would know him as the Dukedom.
George Duke.
That's his website is the Dukedom. Duke of Earl.
The Duke
Gene
of
Chandler.
Gene
Earl.
Chandler?
Gene Chandler out in
Gene
Lombard,
Chandler.
Illinois.
Holy cow.
And that was out
Wow.
in Lombard, Illinois. And I was walking side by side with Gene Chandler all night. Every time he'd come into the store and I was there, I'd be right there with him.
Wow.
He actually invited me to come over to his house, check out the recording studio. I never went. I really never went. I thought it was a little weird for somebody to invite me to come. Yeah, hey, you're a superstar. Come check out my recording studio. And at that time, I was dumbfounded and just like, okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds cool. And I never went.
Yeah.
And I still kick myself to this day that could have been a really good friendship and relationship there as a friend. And I thought he was an awesome guy. But like I said,
Wow.
I'm not starstruck about these things. I've worked security for concerts. I've been backstage for a lot of different venues, and we'll leave it at that. I'm not going into the parties. But I will never ever, if they ever do even recaps, I will never do anything for the Grateful Dead concerts ever again. Holy crap! Did I leave there stoned, and I didn't touch a thing. Deadheads are
Contact
off.
buzz, huh? Not good.
I'm telling you. But Jimmy, there's one thing that I got to throw you under the bus for. I'm still waiting on my guitar, man. Where's that thing
Wow.
What kind of guitar?
at? You've got
Everybody
it
wants
sitting
a
over there.
guitar.
No. You've got the one that I want sitting over there hidden away. You
Oh.
remember?
Is it a Stratocaster?
I know
Oh,
one of those.
Jimmy knows exactly which one I want. We had
Wait,
that conversation once ago. Remember, Jimmy?
are you talking about the old Rickenbacker?
Yep.
Yeah, that's everybody wants the Rickenbacker.
Yeah, that's
I've
the
got a
one.
couple. You know what? They're um mine are worn. I never realized. I did a show outside a couple months ago, babe, and it was the first time in a long time that I actually looked at the lacquer on the front of the neck, and it's all worn down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, you know how many hours have been? Yeah, my blonde one. That's actually in the video. Said,
Is it?
Yes.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Look at
Johnny,
this.
let me see what I can do, man. Okay, get us
Hey,
playing out by you. Let's see what we can do here.
I was just gonna say I want it signed by everybody, autographed, and then I want lacquer over the top so it doesn't move ever again and it's sealed in there. And then we're gonna go hang it up and put it away. Cause see now, Jimmy, last time we talked, I didn't have my toys at all, right?
Yeah.
But now I've got this one sitting here.
Oh, beautiful.
So hold on, I'm not done yet, Jimmy. Hang on, baby. Let me get back here to get to the back.
We're gonna have to check this out.
All right, and what's he digging? Oh, there you go.
So we've got a couple toys to play with now.
Atta boy.
So we like to play a little bit here and there.
Excellent.
You want to hear how I play it?
On the radio, right?
Yeah, of course. Yang, yang, yang.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Louder the better, said. Oh yeah.
I can't play a lick.
So yeah, that's
I can't
pretty
either, but I look cool doing it. The wife says so. It's cool, man. You know.
He actually does the air guitar and just plays along with the rest of the guys. And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's okay.
Wow.
Absolutely.
How is the wife?
That's funny.
Jimmy, how is your wife doing anyway?
She's doing pretty good. She's a little under the weather. No, she doesn't have COVID. Wife's a school teacher, and she's like a petri dish.
Well, it's
and now that she's off for Christmas, she's just getting over going. But she's doing pretty good. She says hi. She's waving here. She looks all cute. Poor kid. Stacey Jane wave.
Hi, wifey.
Yeah.
Awesome sauce. Look at she's all decorative over there doing her thing. Awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, she's been good. I already. You know what? I talked to Santa Claus and he said, "Yeah, she's going to be okay." So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Hey, Cedric, for the double booking, I mean, I'm going to let you handle the main booking. We'll kind of look in to see what we can't do with Jimmy. For the double booking, though, just for your insight and information, I was kind of thinking the Irish pub downtown, just off of Jefferson on the alley street right there. And they get a nice crowd in there, and they love his kind of music, so they would put him right in there.
Why not Big Al?
What's that?
Why not Big Al? That's a more popular stage.
Well, you know, I don't know if he'd want to hit that stage, though. His wife might have a problem with that place.
That would be the
I would have to get a contract. Look. If we did that, not only would he have to sign a contract, but all of their significant others would have to sign contracts that it was okay for them to play at a strip club venue. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, well, that was look, they're med students, Johnny. Okay, they're all med students. Okay, they're all med students. Every single one of them
earning their education.
Great story. 20, maybe 15, 16 years ago, I got a call. I'm a chemist during the day, said. And I get this call, and I was in a band, an alt country band. I was playing bass. It was fun. And I get this call, and he's like, Clint says, hey, what are you doing tonight? Now, this is a Thursday. And, you know, it's a school night. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why? He says, well, because we have a show if you're up, but it's in Windsor, Canada. What? Really? You're serious? What time? You know, he's, you know, so he gave me everything about it. And he gave me the address. He says, can you do it? I says, well, it's kind of last minute, but yeah, sure, what the hell. So I get up there, right? And, you know, this was right about MapQuest time.
Oh, wow.
So I get there up and I'm looking at this address and I'm driving and I go past the place and all of a sudden I realize this is a full nude strip bar.
Oh, boy.
They're paying us how much? For how long?
Did you scream yeehaw as you drove by and realized that?
You know what? I was embarrassed.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I was embarrassed because this young lady was very nice, almost angelic, but she's strutting around. I was like, Lord have mercy. I've never. So yeah, I played places like that and I didn't know about it, but knowing about it, no, it was funny. I can laugh about it now, but I was more embarrassed than anything.
Wow.
This is some good stuff to hear because you don't hear these kind of things in conversations, and this is kind of like an interview, but not really an interview. Jimmy, just real quick, just for the record, yeah, I did hit record earlier, but I kind of bounced out of here, and I don't know if it was still recording. So just so you know, we may still be recording right now. Is it okay with you if we use any of this audio or video back if we decide to make like a little cut out of it and put it back out?
Johnny, absolutely. You got carte blanche. Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, you know how it is, Jimmy. I've got to ask and at least have the vocals on there. So on your last track that you just did, Are we getting permission? I know I've already got it, but I want to make sure that we've got it on the record. I've got a heart too from the Outsiders. Do we have the permission to go ahead and play that and air that as well if we need to?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
So we have
Absolutely.
we have the royalty rights covered. That way, if Facebook ever tries to fight us, you don't have the right to play this stuff. They do that to us
Yeah.
every time we
Yeah.
put anything with music.
Yeah.
everything has been a copyright fight so
Yes,
far this year
yes.
for me.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, when I first put the song up, I got a thing from YouTube.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, cool. So I started entering BMI numbers and everything. And now
Yeah.
within like 12 hours, it was up and running and flying.
Yes.
And not a conflict whatsoever.
It's like, guys, it's mine. Okay. It's mine. Okay. And, but you know what, though?
How would you like to be the guy on the other side of that table, though, who has to go in and read that and try and figure out that you're actually the singer of that song,
Yeah.
and he's got
And
to
I wrote it.
unblock you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that's, you know what, Johnny? That's the funny thing that I thought, too, is like, God, imagine to be the poor guy who's got to be the poor guy who's got to send the email saying, you're not supposed to be using
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I'm honored that people want to hear it. So,
yeah.
my
Well, I love
God,
it.
man, all of
I
us are
sent a
thrilled.
very colorful email to the last guy who sent me a doggone copyright infringement. I
I'm not
said,
even going to say this, but I've played that song at least a dozen times, Jimmy. I love it. It's an awesome
Thank
tone.
you.
I love the
Thank
sound of it. And we still got to work on my song track that I need for this not for profit from you guys. If we can get you guys to write it out, I mean that's kind of
I,
the hard
I'll
part.
tell you what, while we're in Peoria playing, let's take 2-3 hours and bang it out. It's that simple.
But then you guys got to perform it and record it for me too. I mean that's the hard part.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that would that's
that's
not.
a part of the process, brother.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
right,
we
right.
got that. And I'll bring my blonde Rickenbacker up, and it'll be cool. So
That'll be awesome. We'll get a nice video shoot with that. We'll get some bikes in the background, do a nice little video shoot with it.
cool.
Man, we can really blow you guys up. You know that, Jimmy.
Wait a second. Let's put the brakes on this for a second, John. Um, you have me speaking with this young man, and I have absolutely no backstory whatsoever. Okay, I don't know much about the Outsiders except for what I hear on the radio when I'm on the rock and roll station.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm on public access. Right, I listen to news all day.
Cool.
So
Oh, poor kid.
And
very
in the news today.
Yeah.
well informed. I give people
That's good.
information and they say, no, that's not how it goes. I'm in this field and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And dude, you're kind of foggy now, brother.
Yeah, I know. Keeps going there.
Case
Got
in point, I was speaking with a very highly placed individual in the business community around here about a month or so ago.
Yeah.
And he asked me why haven't I? He asked me something about the electric rates, and I said, "Well, I'm not enrolling in any of these things because there's a rate hike coming come January 1st." He's like, "No, no, no, it's all controlled. It's all this and it's all that. You got to read this and read that." I said, "No, I listen to the radio all day.
Yeah.
I know that there's a pretty big rate hike coming up.
Yeah.
This is like on the news every day that this year's
That's
winter."
true.
Right? The winter bill is going to be so inordinately, large that the government needs to give people money to survive right now. He's like, no, no, that's not it. Well, you know what the announcements were again this weekend? Get ready for this really big bill that hits you at the end of January because it goes into effect January 1.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to go blow raspberries in his face for that. But anyway,
I'm sure you will.
I will most definitely take that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Hopefully on camera during the interview.
Cool.
So how did you guys form this band?
Well, the Outsiders were a big thing in the 60s. They were out of Cleveland, Ohio. They had a huge, it was quite the Cinderella story. How they had recorded a demo. They scratched their money together and they recorded a demo over at Cleveland Recording Studios, which is no longer with us, by a song, and they did a song written by Tom King, who was the leader of this band, which actually started as Tom King as the Starfires. So when they recorded this, it was Tom King and the Starfires, okay?
Okay.
Tom King and his brother-in-law, Chet Kelly, wrote this song called Time Will Let Me.
Uh-huh.
They slammed out a demo, and after they actually got an acetate of it was played to one of the A&R guys for
Nice.
Capitol Records, who
Right.
signed them immediately. That's how it went
Okay.
down.
Wow.
And my friend Ricky Biagiola, okay, Ricky B in the Outsiders now, was the original guy on record. Now he didn't play on Time Won't Let Me. Those were all session guys or friends of Tom King,
Right.
or guys who he was playing with the Starfires. Okay.
Right.
Okay, Ricky had an opportunity. He had what? Okay, like a month or two of high school left, and he got an opportunity to play drums for the Outsiders, who had a number 4 hit, Time Won't Let Me. And I guess his mom, he said, Mom, what do I do? And his mom, God rest her soul, said, Are you ever going to get a call like that again? So he was on a plane 4 days later to
Wow.
go play with Gene Pitney and a couple other bands. So that's how that started.
Wow.
And he
Okay.
played, yeah, he was in the band for a couple of years. So let's fast forward to a couple of years ago. He started getting calls from promoters asking him if there was an Outsiders around because they'd be interested in booking shows with them.
Mm-hmm.
This was right after the original singer's name was Sonny Geraci, who was a friend of mine. God rest his soul. He passed away a couple of years ago.
Okay.
As did Tom King, passed away about 9 years ago. And all of a sudden there was a resurgence. So, okay, Ricky was mawing around for a little bit, and he and I were playing, actually in a local band.
Mm-hmm.
He's just farting around, um, you know, 3, 4, 5 times a month, maybe rehearsing once a month, that kind of thing. He just gone out having some fun. And he called me, and he called Greg, and he sat us down at his kitchen table and said, Okay, I have a question for you. And our wives were there. And he said, Would you like to be in the Outsiders? Um, it was like a dream come true because I was a fan. I mean, I wore out their first album.
Right.
I mean, literally, and all the
So there was
subsequent
time.
albums.
Time won't let me. You wore that out.
Yes, well, that entire first album I wore out because it had a lot of 12-string guitar in it. A lot of electric guitar, electric 12-string, and that was my forte as a kid. I made for a very weird 5-year-old, I'm told. And that's where it came from. And we've been doing it ever since, and doing live shows. And as I said, when they said, well, let's do some new material, do you have anything? And I've been a songwriter for a long time. You've been always on the back burner. You gotta, you have a day job and you gotta go make a couple quid on the weekends and go home, and that's it.
Yeah.
And having the opportunity to present some songs to these guys and have them go, okay, let's do that, and then having the response that we've had, it's very cool. It's overwhelming, and I'm very thankful for every minute of it. And it's
Right.
cool being in the charts, and N1M, and I had no idea how huge N1M was.
Right.
And as I had made mention, Roy August was the one who suggested, you should put that up there. All right,
Yeah.
whatever, and it's been snowballing, and it's really cool. And so there you have it. And
Wow.
we have a
Wow.
website, of course. It's theoutsidersusalive.com. Go ahead and write that down, Seth.
Oh, you
We're
know
also,
I am.
oh yeah,
John's got that on like speed dial.
theoutsidersusalive.com.
What
We're
is that
also
again?
the
USA.
Outsiders USA live.com. InterviewOutsider122021.com.
Okay, we
That's our
got that.
official website. And we're also on Facebook and YouTube and MyTube and TheirTube and everywhere, And
Her
Right.
tube
it's
and her tube.
snowballed. I mean, it's as I said, we don't take it for granted. It's pretty cool. It's a blessing. It really is. And I've got a heart too. Okay, you and me did well. There's a lot of internet radio stations who had picked up on that first one, but the second one, I've got a heart too. I don't know what nerve we hit or whatever, but we must have hit something. It must resound with people. I don't know. It's just a very basic song, I thought, and kind of like, hey, it just, hey, yeah, stop talking like that because I've got a heart too. That
Yeah,
kind of thinking. That's all.
this
You
is
know.
the climate for it, though. The last couple of years, everyone gets to reassert themselves with their humanity and personhood and whatnot. So yeah, that makes sense.
And as I said, it's I'm like shocked. It's like how many people watch that?
Yeah, no. It's blown up. I've watched it go, and it's still blowing up. Cedric, if you look over in the chat over here on the side set, I've go ahead. I dropped you another link. Go ahead, take a look at that link that I just gave you.
Let
Yeah,
us
go
put it.
ahead.
It's in the video chat here on the side chat.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Jimmy, I'm sure you see that too. I mean, I don't gloat about people unless I actually believe in what they're doing and how they're still doing things. And like I said, Jimmy, I was sitting here with Sed, and we were kind of having a little business meeting, shooting back and forth at each other, trying to figure out how to make things better and get things
Yeah.
going. And it looks like Sed totally froze, or he's really, really reading. But we were sitting here talking about it, and I says, I said, Sed, I said, I'm going to do a random thing here real quick. And I said, I'm just going to do a reach out and see if I can't get one of these guys that I know and get him to jump in here. And I said, I don't know if he will or not, but I said, I'll see if he's got a minute free because I know, Jimmy, you're busy. You got a lot going on. The wife keeps you tied down when you're not busy doing other
Well,
stuff.
heck yeah, man.
I,
He typical
hope
man. He hangs them on the wall when he gets home, and that's where
Oh
they
yeah.
stay.
Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah. The. Well, I'm honored you thought of me, Johnny. I really am.
I got nothing but love for you, Jimmy. Everything that we've
Thank you.
ever
You too,
talked
buddy.
about, and we've been friends for a while now, and I'd like to continue that friendship. And now, hopefully, you and Cedric here can have a good friendship. Jimmy, if you will be so kind in that side chat, if you can get to it, I believe you can.
Yes, I
Can
can.
you pop some contact information in there for Cedric to be able to put down on his notepad?
Absolutely, said. Hold on. I'm doing that right now. Hold on.
Great. I mean, I'd love to have him have a direct connect to you, so that way, if we can book some venues and get something going somewhere down the road, I'd like him to be able to get directly to you, phone number, email, whatever you got to give them.
Absolutely.
John already has all this stuff, but that's
Oh
not
yeah.
for me to
And
give
then
out
I'll also
now.
give you. This is my cell number. Feel free to reach out whenever you'd like to, or if you have any questions, or you
okay.
know.
Sounds great.
Now,
I'm plugging in the numbers.
hold on, Sid. Hold on. Jimmy just dropped out. We have technical issues here. Jimmy just fell out of the chat for us.
I'm
But at
sorry
least
about
you got his contact information, his phone number. He should be back. I'm sure he'll pop back in here in a second. But while he's gone, real quick, we'll keep this going. Said, what do you think of this right now so far? I mean, until he gets back, we'll kind of keep the rambling going since we are
Well,
recording live.
I kind of like the the genre bending those guys are working on. Um, it's not often that you get to see a band come back to a raging number one or number two. You know what I mean?
Right,
Um,
and the way that he's going about it right now is they originally started as a rock band back in the days where rock was totally different and it was totally a whole different everybody, including your family, my family, everybody's family was brought up on this rock and roll music back in that era, the
right.
40s to the 50s, the 50s to the 60s. It was all that rock and all that music. So this is simply just the exact same thing, and they just magically put something back together, and bam, there it is. They're live again.
I've never heard of N1M features before. I've
Yeah,
never
that
heard.
I'm assuming that's their local karaoke, or not karaoke, but that's their local recording stuff that they've put up. And I know they've got contracts with different things and whatnot. So we'll go into all that later on. But Cedric, we're going to go ahead and end the live broadcast of this, and we're going to go ahead and cut the recording. We'll still be here. I'll still be here with you, Cedric. We'll still continue to talk. But for anybody who is watching this, good night, and I guess we'll talk to you later. Jimmy messaged, by the way, and he said to tell you all have a great night. And Cedric, he's looking forward to talking to you more later on in the future. So
Hasta la.
for everybody else from Street Family, I'm going to say good night. Cedric, go ahead.
And said from Widecast, Peoria Life. I hope your Peoria Life is a good one.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
So you thought I'd call back to you. So you thought I'd crawl back to you. Saw your picture the other day. Ain't it funny how things changed when you're looking the other way? And I've got a heart too, and I don't know what you're trying to prove. And it breaks with everything that you do. And I've got a heart too. Every day I see an endless skies pass before my eyes. Every day I feel the tears that you cried. So hard to carry on, but now I'm strong, and I found this is where I belong. And I've got a heart too, and I don't know what you're trying to prove. And it breaks with everything that you do. And I got a heart too. Why did you hurt me? Why did you hurt me again? And I've got a heart too, and I don't know what you're trying to prove. And it breaks with everything that you do. And I've got a heart too, and I've got a heart too, and I don't know what you're trying to prove. No, no, no. And it breaks with everything that you do. And I've